Guys, have you heard? Yes, 28 years later, trailer has been released today, and I'm so excited. We have to go and investigate this right now. So as you guys know, I am a massive 28 Days Later fan, and I have enjoyed watching all the movies, and I have been super hyped for this new movie to come out. It has been years since we've heard anything from 28 Days. So we are going to have a look at some old trailers, and we're going to take a little look at the new trailer that's just been released. So first of all, let's talk about 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is probably my favourite out of the movies at the moment. Day 1, exposure. Day 3, infection. Day 8, epidemic. Day 15, evacuation. Day 20, devastation. The original 28 Days Later actually came out on the 1st of November 2002. Wow, it really feels like the other day that came out to me. So if you guys have seen the movie as much as I have, then you'll know that the whole movie begins 28 days later of a bunch of people trying to rescue animals from a laboratory, and the whole thing goes wrong. And if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely go and see it if you like gore and devastation. Then so what happens next is one of the animal rights people let the animals out of the cages, with one of the scientists screaming not to let them out, and that the animals were actually infected with rage. Now this is where the story gets really interesting to me, because I always see this movie as a zombie movie, but lots of people say that it's not. And to me, it always will be a zombie movie, just because of the state of the creatures that are infected with rage and how they act, because it's very zombie-like throughout the movies. And before you know it, of course, someone has been bitten, and then the whole case of the virus gets out into the world. The movie ends up being really good. You get to see a character called Jim wake up in a hospital, and yeah, you can see that the world has changed in many ways since he was asleep, hence the 20 Days Later title, I believe. And yeah, it's very interesting and a really good watch. I love the cast and the music throughout this movie, and it's always been one of my top movies that I like to repeat watch, if that makes sense, because it's just very intense, and it always makes me wonder what it would be like in a world in that kind of situation. The movie is directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland. There is some very terrifying scenes throughout the first movie, and the makeup and the storyline to me is just amazing. Then we have the next movie that was next in line, which was called 28 Weeks Later, and again, another very gripping movie. 28 Weeks Later was actually released on May the 11th, 1997. Oh my goodness, so long ago. The thing I really love about the second movie is just that first scene when all the stuff goes down. I'm not going to say too much because if you haven't seen these movies, you should definitely go and watch them before the new one comes out. And yeah, it's just amazing and you won't regret it. The first one, when you watch it back now, does seem much older than what you remember if you watched it back when it first came out. So you will maybe have a little bit of a shock about how it looks today, but it's still a very impressive movie. Still the gore scenes and the chimps and things all look really good, and I really appreciate that with movies. I'd love it when it's not all done by computers. I love things that are handmade and makeup that's done with makeup artists. I really appreciate the work that goes into that, and I'm really hoping that from the new movie.
Welcome to London.
We're heading into District 1. Although District 1 is completely safe, outside the security zone, London remains a wasteland. There are a large number of bodies still left to be cleared from the original outbreak of infection.
We're nearly home.
How old are you, Andy?
12. I think that makes you the youngest person in the entire country. Welcome back.
And we wish you luck in your new lives.
Oh, I missed you so much.
This is what it's all about, gentlemen. Family starting again. You like it?
It's amazing. Are you going to tell us what happened to Mum?
The last infected human died 6 months ago.
We weren't here 6 months ago.
Have you come into direct contact with the infected?
Execute Code Red.
It's probably nothing.
Now we talked a little bit about the last two movies, let's find out about this new movie, and I can't wait to watch it. I hope you guys can watch it along with me. I'm hoping that it won't be copyrighted, but it might be. So what I'm going to do is I'll watch it and talk about it, and if we can put this up hopefully alongside this video, then I will, and if we can't, then I will just talk about it so you guys can watch it and then let me know your thoughts about the new movie. I love the beginning part of this trailer. There is the Teletubbies, and now what can be more creepier than that?
Wait, sit here. Sit Auntie, what's going on? Jimmy, sit still, keep quiet, and do not move from the spot.
So we're starting off the trailer with a bunch of children, about 4 and 8, all sitting in front of a TV with the Teletubbies on, which is terrifying with the Teletubby music and the Teletubbies dancing on the TV. Then on the screen it says it begins, and then you see it looks like either the mother or the carer of these children being bashed against a wall. Then on the screen it pops up 10,228 days ago. You see a bunch of zombie looking creatures by a window as well. Then a church scene, and you see a big massive stained glass window being smashed, and then it comes to a face of someone screaming.
7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boot, boot.
And then you see a couple of flashing images. First of all, you see like a horse in a field, and then lots and lots of wooden crosses look like graves. Weeks to become years.
Boot, boot, moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war.
Then you come across these really cute little images of roles in the community, which must be like where you'd be put into some kind of role if the world went down kind of thing. And then it looks like some kind of shooting area with some very cruel looking machines with big pointy arrows coming out of some cannons or something.
Down Don't look at what's in front of you. Boost, 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 boost. Moving up and down again. Men.
Let me see some characters running around with bow and arrow, it seems.
Men go mad with watching them.
And then this scene of a big tree with lots of people that are affected with rage running towards them.
No discharge in the war.
And then you see someone bashing a door into a building, and there's this hanging body from the ceiling. A little boy looks up, and then this creature starts making this terrible sound.
Your eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boost, 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 moving up and down again.
Then we see this really cool, crazy looking mask. And I love how this looks, and I'm really interested to find out if this is a faction of different people that are living. Then you get this glimpse of this very big looking person. They look very tall and very muscular, and they're running towards people. I have no idea what this character could be. It has this, what the rage has made people into. My mind boggles like crazy thinking about what this character could be within this movie. And then we have like a train moment, and then it moves on to a forest, then onto a sea, and then some floodlights that are going backwards and forth.
There's no discharge in the war. Cry, to think of something different. Oh, my God, me from going lunatic. Oh.
And you realise they're the lights of hats. It looks like some kind of coalmen or workmen, and they're all screaming. And there's lots of shooting as well. And then a date pops up on the screen, which is next year, which is 2025. And then you see this absolutely glorious tower of skulls, which looks so cool. And then you see another couple of clips of some flowers and lots of people. And then you see a tiny newborn baby, and then this very strange looking zombie creature kind of getting up out of a big field of yellow flowers. And then you see lots of different scenes again, while it's flicking through different images, and the music's so intense and it gets your heart racing, and you're wondering what's going to happen, you're wondering what's going to be on the screen.
7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17.
Then you see a woman and a boy, it looks like, having a hold at the end. And then it carries on with a weird, creepy, Teletubby sounding music throughout. And it just makes it very creepy and very odd. I am so excited for this movie. And it's something that I have been looking forward to since I first heard it was going to be like the first announcements kind of thing of this movie, because I am such a fan of the first one. It has a big spot in my heart, if that makes sense. And then of course it comes up with a big title on the screen saying 28 years later. And then we finally have a date for this movie. I am so excited. What can be more creepier than the Teletubbies? And the song in this trailer is just heart-racingly weird. So apparently this new movie is definitely based from the first movie, which I'm really excited about. And of course, this is 28 years after the infection, I believe. Both the same film director will be directing this movie, and also I think it's the same writer too. So I'm very excited. The second one was written by someone else, so this one is more special because it's more relatable to the first movie. I'm very excited as well because it looks like Jim is coming back in this one. And yeah, what can be more exciting than having a main character from the first movie come back into this new one? There isn't too much information online about this new movie, and I'm so excited because yeah, this trailer is just insane. June the 20th, 2025. And that's when it's going to be on at cinemas. I am so excited, everyone. so excited. That kind of concludes my little talk about the new trailer and about the old movies a little bit, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this as much as I did. I'm a massive fan of this whole rage, and the idea of this rage ever existing in our world is frightening. And when you watch the movies, you can realize how easy it probably is to try and create a virus like this, because the world is so full of hate as we know it. And yeah, it's terrifying, and I just can't wait to find out what happens next to all these characters we know from the first movie, and to find out what the writers have come up with for this next one. It's going to be fantastic. I believe this. I'm really hoping it's going to be. I have been disappointed with lots of movies I have seen quite recently, and we could do with a good one now, please. And yeah, thank you so much for coming along and watching my little thoughts on the whole trailer, and I will see you later. And please, if you do enjoy this video, subscribe, and please don't forget, be weird, be yourself, and be different, because otherwise, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're just completely boring. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.